Welcome to some more Advent journaling with me, Jenna Byrne, and I think this will probably realistically be my last one before Christmas. I haven't done a whole lot. Look, there's lots I haven't done. I might do some after Christmas. There's a thought. So, yeah, don't feel like you have to finish or get your journal full or do every word. If you've done something, if you took a moment over this absolutely crazy season to think about Jesus and think about him coming to be with us on earth, then job done. Okay? So this was the last page we did. We wrote a love letter. You can check out the video about that page there. I also, in the interim, did this page. This was the word make, and I was thinking about how the verse that says God made everything beautiful in its time, and I was also thinking about the seasons and how each season has its own beauty, and how all that beauty is also a symbol of how much God loves us. It's a kind of love letter to us, all the beauty that God puts in the world. He doesn't have to make it beautiful, but he does. And yeah, so that's what that page was about. That one doesn't have a video. I will probably do at some point a flip through of this journal so you can see all the different pages. But today, I thought we would think about this word here, welcome, and think about how Jesus, when he came into the world, was he welcome? I'm going to pull up a pew and grab my not coffee. And the answer to that is that Jesus wasn't welcome, was he? In many ways, Israel was looking forward to their Messiah, but they weren't looking for what Jesus was. They were not looking for this humble character from some backwater town called Nazareth, born in a stable, my goodness. And when Joseph and Mary arrived in Bethlehem, were they welcome? No, they weren't. They had doors slammed repeatedly in their faces. And ended up in a stable with the animals, even though Mary was literally about to give birth. I don't call that a good welcome. So I think it's really interesting and challenging to think about this word in relation to Christmas and Jesus. Welcome. So to think about this, I have got this beautiful old door picture which I found on Pinterest, and I am slightly addicted to pictures of old doors. It's something that I'm just really attracted to, with the peeling paint and the layers and all this plaster and brickwork and concrete and cobbled together. I just absolutely love it. And when I'm abroad, or even here in the Cotswolds, to be honest, I am sometimes found taking photos of doors. I hope nobody thinks I'm planning a burglary, but I just really love doors, and I love what they symbolise as as an entrance to a new place. They're a barrier, but a permeable barrier, and yeah, I just think they're really fascinating. So I'm hoping we can get this door on our page. This could, in fact, be a stable door, couldn't it? This could be a barn, easily. It looks like a humble door to a humble building. It's not a door to a palace, is it? And I love that. So So we are going to put that on our page at some point. But I thought I would start with some good old collage, and I'm going to try and build up the layers to kind of echo these colours here. So some reddy orange, some white, and then some yellow on top, so that our door feels at home, feels welcome on our page, in fact. Right, so how are you all doing? Are you surviving? Do you have your head above water? I am very pleased to announce that I have finally finished the present wrapping. I'm actually on my own at the moment. I have been on my own in the house for a week. So that has allowed me the time to do things like wrapping, and I just don't know what I'd have done otherwise. I just wouldn't have had the time or the energy to do it. So I am feeling organised, but there's a reason for that, and I certainly don't think I would have done had I not had so much time to myself. So if you're feeling, oh my goodness, it's going to be like Christmas Eve, still trying to find the end of the sellotape, I totally get you. I really do. Whoops, this glue stick. I thought I was being organised, actually having a glue stick with me this time. So normally I have to disappear and go and find one, but it's a bit old and not very happy. Put this on there as well, I think. So yeah, I'm thinking in terms of Jesus's welcome. It actually says, doesn't it, at the beginning of John, in John 1, he was in the world, and although the world was made through him, the world did not recognise him. So it didn't even recognise him, let alone welcome him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. So he was not received, which basically means he was not welcome. I mean, if you knock on a door and you're not received, that means you're not welcome, doesn't it? And so the Bible actually tells us that Jesus wasn't welcome. And what am I going to do next? Some white. Okay. I thought I might use my oh dear, my crusty old brayer. Or I could just use a credit card to scrape some white on. I don't know, let's have a little go with this brayer. I don't know that I'll get this paint to come out either. Here we go. Okay. So I just want to apply this paint unevenly to echo this plaster. Hang on, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's give that a little roll and see what happens. There we go. See some of that nice texture there. I'm really liking that. Okay, that's good. And we'll go for some yellow as well. If I can find my yellow. What have I done with it? Oh, it's right here. It's right here in front of me. Okay, some yellow. And if you don't have a brayer, a roller thing like this, an old store card is just as good for scraping a little bit of paint around. So this idea of welcome, I was also thinking about the parable of the great banquet. That's in Luke 14. So that is a story that Jesus told about a banquet, a man who was preparing. Let me read it to you. It's over there. A certain man was preparing a great banquet and invited many guests. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who had been invited, "Come, for everything is now ready." But they all alike began to make excuses. The first said, "I have just bought a field and I must go and see it. Please excuse me." Another said, "I have just bought 5 yoke of oxen and I am on my way to try them out. Please excuse me." Still another said, "I just got married, so I can't come." And the servant came back and reported to his master, and the owner of the house, who represents God, became very angry and ordered his servant, "Go out quickly into the streets and the alleys of the town and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame." "Sir," the servant said, "what you ordered has been done, but there is still room." Then the master told his servant, "Go out to the roads and country lanes and compel them to come in, so that my house will be full. I tell you, not one of those who were invited will get a taste of my banquet." So this is God saying everyone is welcome. That's the thing that I get out of this story, is that he wants his, it says at the end, he wants his house to be full. So I think some people who maybe people who aren't Christians might have this idea of the Christian faith that God is like picky about who's invited. You know, he doesn't, you know, only the chosen may come. You're not on the a bit like Santa Claus. If you're not on the good list, you're not invited to the party. And this parable tells us exactly the opposite. He wants his house to be full. He's come, for everything now is ready. And yet the first people he went out to all made excuses. It wasn't that they weren't invited. They didn't go because they didn't want to go. They made excuses not to go. And sadly, people do make excuses not to accept God. Many reasons why people might not do that. And God is really sad about that. And next he goes out to the poor and the crippled and the blind and the lame. So he prioritizes the least and the rejected and the lonely, and he says, come to the feast. And they do come, but there is still room. And so the master tells his servant, "Go out to the roads and the country lanes and compel them to come in." And that's our great commission, isn't it? To tell people, come, I've got good news, like the shepherds who saw Jesus and couldn't wait to tell people about it. So Jesus might not have been welcome when he turned up, but we are certainly welcome at God's banquet. Jesus talks about that he wants to come and eat with us, and eating just represents that companionship and communion and fellowship. God wants to have fellowship with us, which is just amazing, isn't it? Just feeling like it needs a little bit more red, except my red's not going to come out. All this happens when you're doing these lives. Oh my goodness, and now I've got way too much and it's way too bright. Okay, what am I going to do with all that? Okay, let's scrape some of it off. I think. Mix it in with some yellow. Right, getting really messy now. Need a baby wipe. I don't know, you folks who don't have kids, how do you cope without baby wipes? They are just a staple part of our household, even though my kids are big now. Okay, right, just mop some of that up. Activating some of that neo colour that was already on the page there. A bit of grunge. Okay, not going to see much of that anyway. Yeah, look at that. That kind of matches quite well, doesn't it? For our little door. Oh, and another idea we could do is we could actually... Oh, how about this? We could actually open our door on the page. That would be fun. Just trying to find my... There we go. Right, don't want to cut through my stars. What I mean is we could cut down here, look. And across here. And across here. Is that going to work? Yes. Now our little door opens. That's cool. So let's stick our door on our page. So the big question is, are we going to welcome Jesus into our hearts? And I've actually been thinking about this, listening to various carols which talk a lot about this. Joy to the world, let every heart prepare him room. So really the welcome that God's interested in now is whether we're going to accept Jesus into our hearts, or are we going to be like the innkeepers and go, sorry, I'm busy, no room today? Or are we going to be like the guests at the banquet and make excuses and say, you know, sorry, I'm married, I've got other responsibilities? And there is the big yes to Jesus, where for the first time we say sorry for all the things we've done wrong, and we accept that Jesus came and died on the cross and took away all those things that we've done wrong. And we accept that he's the way to God. And then there's all the little yeses that come after that as well, isn't there? Are we going to continue to say yes to God? It's a bit like being married, I guess. You say yes on your wedding day, and that's once and for all time. But you also continue to say yes, you know, as you love and prioritise your spouse on a daily basis. And it's the same with God, isn't it? So easy to make excuses. I'm tired, I'm busy. Just making a little heart there. I love this mulberry paper. So tactile. So I was thinking, to put our little heart inside our little door. Something like that. Yeah. And this represents my heart. which I'm going to open those doors to Jesus, and I'm going to try and keep them open even through this busy Christmas season, and say, yes, Lord, you are welcome here. Right, where are we going to stick our word? Up here somewhere. Really am running out of glue. Getting a bit desperate here. There we go. I think that's pretty much done. I was just going to write, let every heart prepare him room, I think. Maybe here, seeing as there's a bit of space. Every heart. So there we go. I hope you like that. Please do hit the like and the subscribe button if you have enjoyed this Advent series. Like I said, that's probably the last one I will do before Christmas Day, in which case have a wonderful, blessed Christmas, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And yes, I will see you at some point after Christmas. And into the new year. So God bless. Take care. Thank you for watching. And I will see you soon.